Welcome to the United States Grand Prix. The Circuit of the Americas is known for its bumpy surface, and with around 133 feet of elevation changes, starting with the uphill climb to Turn 1, the Big Red, it's an all-round challenge for cars and drivers.
Don't forget, the schedule this weekend sees the drivers take to the track for an all-out sprint race. A good opportunity to clinch some crucial championship points.
It's shaping up to be a great weekend, so don't go anywhere. Things are hotting up here in Texas for the sprint. And it's lights out and away we go.
There we go. Away we go for the last 6 races here of this career mode. We are coming from P10 and P13 here this afternoon. Not the qualifying result that we would have wanted, but we got to make the most of it. Let's see if we can score some points. Attaboy, Georgie. Not too bad. We're making good progress right before the halfway point in this little sprint race. Up to P7 here with Carlos Sainz. Up to P9 with George Russell. I think maybe we can jump ahead of Liam Lawson, but I think anything up inside the top 6 might be a bit of a stretch. He doesn't have DRS, and Lando's got a mechanical fault. Come on. Attaboy. Well, at least we're somewhat up into the points as Carlos Sainz continues to fight with Liam Lawson for P9. Got a little run here on Max. I mean, oh wow, he's going to overtake him before we even got to the DRS zone, and we somehow still have DRS.
Wicked job.
We take those.
Put you P5.
Oh, he's got a fault, that's
P5.
why. Can we at least get one singular point out of this? It looks like we will, up ahead of Esteban Ocon. Not bad there for Carlos Sainz. At the end of this sprint race, Zhou Guanyu, I believe, will be winning his first sprint race, and I guess his first technical F1 race of his career. The Chinese driver will go ahead and win the Sprint Terracotta. Barely, I should say, beating out Oscar Piastri, who continues to extend his point lead for ourselves. P5 and P8, pretty good recovery considering where we started, but definitely going to need a little bit more than that for the feature race.
P5.
What an achievement today for Zhou Guanyu.
And that sprint win was well deserved. On to the Grand Prix now.
Sit tight and get ready. It's the United States Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Away we go. We qualified well, 4th and 6th there. Seems like forever since we've been at the front like this, but we need to capitalize on it today. This is our opportunity, especially with Red Bull being 1-2 in the running order. Carlos Sainz will go soft, hard, medium. George Russell, hard, hard, soft. Got to save a bit of fuel. Hoping for some good luck. First pit stop underway here in this episode. Onto a brand new set of hard compound rubber, 2.220. Not too bad there from our boys in bronze. Out of the pit lane now, mostly right behind Oscar Piastri. Hopefully he gets held up in the traffic a little bit. Now just waiting for that first pit stop for George Russell. Georgie's turn here in the pit lane onto another set of hard compound rubber. Not as good of a pit stop, but still 2.3 will be more than serviceable here for our boys. Out of the pit lane now, I mean, we've got a lot of traffic to go through, but I think it'll all be worth it in the end. We've got a really good strategy towards the end of this Grand Prix. I'll see you guys at the second round of pit stops.
Around they spin, and there's not much they can do about that now.
Might have borked it a little bit here with Carlos Sainz onto a set of medium compound rubber. He'll be going to the end of the Grand Prix on this exact set. 2.386 seconds down away for Carlos Sainz, and a lot of clean air, but quite a ways behind. Just got to wait for the final pit stop here for George Russell.
Oh, all right so far. And the car just locks. They took a gamble, and it was just too late.
Well, Carlos Sainz goes for a spin there, and unfortunately, Antonelli and Liam Lawson both get caught up in it. But we've got a pit stop here with George Russell. Yeah, not too pleased there with the actions. And Mr. Sainz says Charles Leclerc's actually had a lockup at turn 13, but we'll get to that in just a second. So, for the final pit stop in this Grand Prix for ourselves, on to a set of soft compound rubber, 2.201 seconds for Mr. Russell, down and away. So we cycle out in P7. Not too bad on a brand new set of softs. Everyone's going to the end. Game on. Up the inside, P6. Up the inside, P5.
Oh, that's quite an impact between them. Now their confidence will have taken a hit with that.
Really didn't need that. Red flag is out. I mean, it brings us all back together, but that makes things very complicated.
It's lights out and away we go.
Away we go indeed for what's going to be a 10-lap sprint to the end of this Grand Prix. Luckily for ourselves, we had a brand new set of soft compound rubber waiting in the pit lane. George, go for it. For Carlos Sainz, we didn't have any brand new sets outside of this hard compound set. I figure with 10 laps, just got to make the most of it. So now from P4 and P10, let's go get this win.
The brakes couldn't cope. Now they did leave it very late.
When it rains, it fucking pours.
Right, let's have a look now. Around turn 3.
Gee, mini Christmas.
It's there for the taking.
Oh, and Piastri
Strong
went off.
and
What a
impossible
move.
there to move them up the field.
Behrman's going to be a sitting duck here, and I'd imagine Carlos is pretty much on full confidence. We'll still have DRS up the inside for P4. Adios, Ollie.
And Verstappen finishes first.
A result like that absolutely speaks to all the hard work they put into their career. Just phenomenal.
Let that one slip right through our grass. Carlos Sainz was able to come back at P3, so a podium there for Carlos. I'll give props where props to do. That was a good drive. But yeah, this
Okay, it was P16.
that's going to sting for a while.
And Carlos Sainz heading up to the podium now. The Spaniard adding another to his record.
Podium number 8 now, I think they've reached this season. That's really impressive.
This is it. Here we go with the Mexico City Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go indeed. Welcome to Mexico City. So P5 and P6, we can qualify again. Somehow, I don't know what happened earlier on this season, but we're good now. That's all that matters. So P4 and P7 now for George Russell. Medium, soft, medium, hard for George Russell. Medium, medium, hard for Carlos Sainz. I think we got a good chance to at least keep it with the Red Bulls. Got to see what happens here in Mexico. Nice turnaround from episodes previous. We're in the fight with both guys. So George Russell coming in for his first pit stop of this race, 2020. Almost our first 2-second pit stop. Not too bad there for our boys. Out of the pit lane now, just behind the likes of Oscar Piastri. Good, actually really good first stint there for George Russell. Now waiting for the first pit stop here for Carlos Sainz. Maybe a bit too long here in the first stint for Carlos Sainz, but I think we'll be okay looking at the end of the Grand Prix. 22:04 for the pit stop time. Not too bad. So we've lost a lot of time, but we've got the best tires of anybody. We can go like hell now. Carlos just got to go do it.
The wheels just lock up there. By that point, it was just too late.
Oh my god. I think I might have accidentally strategized ourselves out of this race. On to the hard compound tires for George Russell. Really good pit stop. Actually, I think our best pit stop thus far, but I'm not quite sure it's going to make very much of a difference. Carlos Sainz will also be coming in this time by for his final pit stop in this Grand Prix onto his own set of hard compound rubber. Another really good pit stop, but like I said, I'm not quite sure it's going to matter. P9 and P10. Oh, it's Festy.
Let's have a look at the action. It's all at the final corner. And makes contact with the wall.
Got two people in the pit lane. Got one of them. Not going to get the other. All right. Easiest overtake of your life here, Carlos. Straight line. Around the outside. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. P7. Teammates. Well, P7 and P8 now. Long way to go to catch Leclerc, Norris, and on this whole bunch. I don't know. I don't know how we managed to work our way out of this race so badly.
And today's winner. It's first place for Pierre Gasly.
Honestly, even their harshest critic would be hard-pressed to say that they didn't thoroughly deserve that win.
Wow. A second Pierre Gasly victory on the season. Red Bull bring home a 1-2, even with the fault of Oscar Piastri, plaguing him for pretty much the entire back half of the race. And what do we do as a response? We come home P7 and P8 after being legitimately in the lead train up until the first pit stop. Oh, I'm getting fired.
24 laps around Sao Paulo in today's sprint. It's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go indeed in a very weather-impacted sprint race here at the Sao Paulo circuit. P8 and P7 there in sprint quali. Not bad. Once again, I really can't complain. Like, it's just not enough, not nearly enough. It's going to be intermediate the whole way through. I can imagine no changes of tire. P7 and P8, I'd imagine we'll probably finish there.
Now down at the center S. They decide to give it a go.
Bonk.
There's
Bonk.
clear contact there, and all it can take is one mistake.
Well, Logan Sargent has been bonked out of this race. We've got a red flag. I wonder if this changes the weather outcome for the rest of the sprint race.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay. Well, we'll put our guys on kill. What's, I guess actually, yeah, I can just go full kill. 1 second here before we look at the blah, 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 blah. Okay. Does this change anything? Absolutely not. Well, we are now still P5, still P5 and P9. Oh well.
Okay.
Hey, double overtake. Not bad. P4 and P8 now. Yes. Yes. Whee. Well, Piastri gets tapped wide. It worked out pretty well for us. We're going to go to P2 here with George Russell, and Carlos Sainz gets promoted to P7. Not bad. We're going to come up just a hair short. Pierre Gasly nipped us there at the end. We weren't quite able to get him back, so he'll win the sprint. However, still P2. P2, we gained points on Red Bull. Piastri is nowhere. Verstappen was down, so P2 and P7, not too bad. Not too bad at all. We'll see what happens in the future race.
Took a flag. Good job, everybody.
And congratulations, Pierre Gasly, on a great sprint win.
What an outcome. They can go into the race full of confidence now.
And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Away we go. Hopefully today is the day that we lose the Constructors' Championship, but I think it might be. So the forecast, it's going to be intermediate the whole way through. So that pretty much guarantees that there's going to be one pit stop. We'll see what happens. P9, P11. Hoping for good things. Well, as Esteban Ocon follows us into the pit lane, that should show you that we didn't do a very good job on the first hit with Carlos Sainz. So we just got beaten up on intermediates. George Russell didn't have a problem, but for whatever reason we did. So I can only assume we'll beat Ocon out of the pit lane. Looks like we will do exactly that. Down and away to the end of this Grand Prix for Carlos Sainz. Now waiting on the first and hopefully only pit stop in this race for George Russell. We've had a bit of change in plan. So we're actually going to be going for a, what is it going to be, a two-stop strategy? Kind of the same idea for both drivers, just full pushing all the way. The projections say it's faster. The AI seem to be mirroring it almost exactly. Just got to hope it'll turn out okay. So, P16 and, or P15 rather, and what for George Russell? P12, 13.
It's too difficult. I'm trying everything.
And the rear just lets go. And that won't do anything to help those tyres.
Just a weird, wacky strategic race here. On to the other side of intermediate rubber. There's no sign currently of it drying out. If anything, it's going to be almost bordering on wet conditions here in about 15 laps time. So Carlos Sainz theoretically has completed his service for this Grand Prix, and George Russell will be in this time by for service of his own. Both of our guys going to the end of this Grand Prix. 2 point. Yikes. Not a great pit stop there from our boys. Out in P17 and P18. I have no idea what to expect.
We're P17 at the moment.
Oh, and the cars there, unable to keep out of each other's way.
Yeah, he's right in the way of us, so could you move over? Thank you. Can Sainz get through as well? Thank you.
He's got the win. Oscar Piastri is the winner.
You can't say they didn't earn it. They put in an amazing performance today.
Just like over the course of the season, many times Oscar Piastri is a race winner, and I do believe has just become another Formula One world champion for ourselves. I mean, we're just bad. I mean, we're going to come up a little bit short of P10. We might actually be able to get him with a little bit of boost. Yeah, they both boosted away. So P11 and P12, not going to score points. Constructors' Championship gets even farther out. And I do believe Oscar Piastri is your world champion for 2027.
Overtake.
And what a year for Oscar Piastri, the driver's champion for this year. With such a strong performance from Piastri, there's no denying that he's earned that place on the podium today.
Taking their 8th win of the season, there's just no stopping them.